Good morning, everybody. This is Alaia. I'm getting back on track of doing a video every morning. I was really inspired by this woman on YouTube, and I can't remember what her name was. Something like Badass something or other. It was a really cool name. But I was really inspired by her, and of course by our own lovely Lilu, that they made it a point to turn on their computer and offer their thoughts every day. And some days the thoughts were profound, and some days it was like, I didn't need to know that. So this morning I was listening to a web show, a webinar, a web something, that seemed a lot like The View, you know, except it's called The Insight. It's really cool. And it was featuring one of the creators of the 100-Day Challenge. And they were talking on this show about the law of attraction and the secret behind the law of attraction and the secret behind the secret and all of that. And one of the things they mentioned was that one of the people, the host of the show, was late for work, and that she was sitting in traffic and she was trying to figure out how she attracted that, because she really wanted to be at the show and she wasn't there. And another person on the show said, well, there was 100,000 other people sitting on the highway that were not focusing on the law of attraction in the same way that you were, and they contributed to your being late. And I want to say that I used to live in Los Angeles, California. I lived in Los Feliz. And for those of you who know where Los Feliz is, it's a long ways from Malibu, let's just put it that way. And the length of time that I lived there, I was successful consistently in being able to get from Los Feliz to Malibu, no matter what time of day it was, in under 40 minutes, which I'm told is pretty amazing. Actually, I was able to do it for under 30 minutes most of the time. Didn't matter what time of day it was. There were a ton of other people on the highway who were going in the same direction. There was always traffic between Los Feliz and Malibu. There was always traffic between downtown Los Angeles and Malibu. But I needed to be in Malibu oftentimes when I was downtown and oftentimes when I was in Los Feliz. What has worked for me time and again, no matter where I am, no matter what it is I'm doing. I now live in Kailua Kona, and one of the constant complaints of people who have moved here supposedly to get away from traffic is there's so much traffic. I never see the traffic. I never get in the traffic. There is no traffic. One of the things that is a constant for me as far as the law of attraction is concerned, there is a thought that there's this superpower and this focus that you have to make sure that you don't experience traffic, or you don't experience long lines at the grocery store, or whatever. For me, I've been thinking about this because I keep hearing people say it, and so I'm trying to figure out what is it that I do, because I walk into the post office, there's nobody there. And there's always people at the post office. So what I've noticed is the next step to the law of attraction has to do with being at the right place. And how do you get to the right place? You follow the hunches. Here in Kona, the post office always has lines. Across the board, that just seems to be the way it is. But you and I both know that at one time during the day or more, there are times when there are no lines at the post office. The idea is to be able to find out what that time is and go at that time. So for myself, and I always end up there at that time, what I do is I set it in the back of my head in the morning. I have to go to the post office. And then I go about my day. The next time that that pops up, gotta go to the post office, I drop what I'm doing and I go to the post office. I always walk right in. So for me, the question that I'm asking is the secret behind the secret that you are in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing? And does that have anything to do with focus and all of that? Attention well ahead of time that this is going to be my experience. This is my experience. I am going to go to the post office and I'm going to say hi to my favorite post office guy, and we're going to chit chat about the weather, and I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to get back in my car and I'm going to work. Or I'm going to drive from Malibu to from downtown LA to Malibu. It's going to be a wonderful drive. I'm going to listen to my CD on the way, and I'm going to talk to a couple of friends on the phone, and then I'm going to be there, and then I'm going to do the stuff I'm going to do. I think that that's the case. That instead of running through how you're going to accomplish whatever it is, that you just jump to the end. You are where you are, you set the intention, and what you see from where you are to where you're going is, this is my experience, this is what I have, this is what I'm doing, this is who I am. And the in-between just takes care of itself. It's not, Mike Dooley says, he calls it the cursed hows. And I really get that, because it's not how you do it. It doesn't matter. You know, I might get from my place to the post office because I stopped off at Walmart, and then I was talking to a friend, and then I went around the corner and da-da-da, and oh, there's the post office, better stop in. It doesn't matter how I get there. It matters how I see my experience of having been there. And my experience of having been there is, it was easy. I just walked in, did what I had to do, and left. Getting to Malibu, it was easy. I just got in the car, and then I was in Malibu, and I did what I was doing there, and I had a great time, and then I left. Everything, moving to Hawaii, starting my business, starting my coaching business, doing my speaking career, all of it. It's not, every time I try to get involved in how I did it, it doesn't work. What works is, this is the intention, and this is the outcome. The stuff in between is the stuff in between, but it's not my concern. So when you listen to Abraham, and Abraham says that there are 3 steps. You ask, it is given, you open to receive. So I jump from asking to receiving. I know that it's given. I know that I don't have to think about that part. It just is. And so I jump from, and so every time for myself, every time I'm having a thought that, you know, as I'm having the thought, I'm like, ooh, don't want to experience that. I erase that thought. You know, it's like I erase it and I replace it. I put something else there that is what I do want to experience, and that's what I put my focus on. And whether that means that, you know, I have to kind of stick my fingers in my ear and go la 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 so I don't hear the thoughts going on in my own head, or if I put on a positive tape, if I put on Lilo's meditation, it doesn't matter, music, whatever, but something to shift my consciousness, as Tony Robbins called it, breaking state, something to change my focus from whatever it is that is a concern to the outcome that I want. And this kind of goes back to the Worries and Dreams video that I did last night about the man who locked himself in a hotel room in New York City to write a book about pandemics and then experienced 9/11. Where we put our attention is what it is that we get. So I'm choosing today to put my attention on having everything be wonderful, because it is a wonderful day. I live in Hawaii. Oh my God. And life is grand. It is absolutely, amazingly, wonderfully grand. Thank you guys. I love you, and aloha.